I'd like to talk to you about 5 principles for changing bad behavior to good behavior. So these are general principles. They can be applied separately or together in creative ways. Principle 1, praise is better than correction. It's a much more pleasant experience to look for the good in your child and to praise that than it is to be ever watchful for children's mistakes. Praise is a very effective tool for encouraging homework, getting chores done, engaging a child's cooperation. You have to kind of dedicate and train yourself to catching the child being good. And sometimes it's necessary to set up the situation so that praiseworthy behavior will be emitted by the child. For example, rather than assigning a chore to a child to do alone, offer to help with the chore, be watching, and encouraging and praising effort and as well as accomplishment, so that the child gets the feeling that you're looking for the good and that you are attempting to recognize the good that they have within them. The more specific you can be, the better. Great job in cleaning your room is okay. Better is, wow, there's not one single toy under your bed anymore. Or, gee, I like the way you arranged all the shoes in your closet. Principle 2, choices have consequences. The world is so arranged that we learn from the consequences of our behavior. So it's not always a good idea to protect our children from the aftermath of the choices that they make. Especially with older children, sometimes the best solution is to offer guidance, state your opinion, then back off and let the consequences teach the child. For example, a child may want to spend his or her money foolishly. Sometimes it might be best to allow the child to make the choice and then learn that gratifying the immediate desire means that you might not be able to have other things that you want more. Now, we use this idea that choices have consequences, and sometimes we call it logical consequences. That is, we impose a consequence that's less harsh than the real world might impose. So we don't say to a 3-year-old, well, if you choose to ride your bike in the street, you may find that you get hit by a car and suffer horribly, but you make the decision, it's up to you. Okay? Instead, we say, we act in a more effective or less lethal way. We have a less lethal consequence. We take the trike away for the rest of the day for unsafe behavior. And then this works best when it's followed by instruction about what is the positive behavior that you want. What is safe behavior on the trike? What are the limits that the child has? What is safe conduct? Principle 3, whatever you reward will tend to be repeated. This means that parents have the power to increase a behavior simply by paying attention to it. You can set up a reward system to increase desirable behavior. You can set up a menu of rewards. Social rewards are often the most powerful. For example, parents are often surprised to learn that kids will work hard just to be able to spend special time with their parents. So you might ask a question like, if you could do something really special with mom or dad, what would it be? Or another kind of social reward would be time with friends. So if you could do something special with a friend, what would it be? Or you can try a ticket system in which children can earn tickets for positive behaviors which you're trying to increase, such as helping without being asked, doing assigned chores, or using kind words. This is just another way of noticing them being good and then making a point of it by giving a ticket or token that helps them to install the idea that, oh, what I just did was a good thing. This is great. Okay. 10 tickets might be exchangeable for staying up a half hour later, or spending some special time with Dad playing a game, or any number of other things. Principle number 4, don't sweat the small stuff. This is really a variation of the previous principle. Not only is it true that rewarded behavior tends to be repeated, it's also true that ignored behavior tends to decline. So learn to ignore the small stuff instead of rewarding it with your attention. This can be helpful for things like bickering or interrupting and other negative behaviors. Now, obviously, it's not a good idea to ignore behavior that's self-rewarding, like stealing money, because obviously ignoring that, it probably is encouraging it. But you can ignore small stuff like annoying habits or behaviors that get your attention or are designed to get you to do something. And in that case, refusing to respond is denying the desired reward, and the behavior will likely decrease. Principle 5, be prepared to negotiate. If you're prepared to show a little flexibility, very often you and the child can come up with a win-win outcome. A willingness to negotiate some issues sends the message that you want to show respect for the child's needs and concerns. This seems to be especially important for adolescents who want some recognition of the validity of their concerns. Now, you don't want to negotiate in a negative environment. So if the child or adolescent starts yelling or being disrespectful of your authority, that's a time to close the discussion for a later time. And don't negotiate away your moral values. Sometimes you have to be a stand-up parent who can say, that's a no-good, rotten TV show, and I've told you before why I'm not going to let you watch it. I will not change my mind about this, so don't start. But with those warnings in mind, if you really are sincere about finding a solution that both you and your child can live with, most often a win-win outcome results without having to be a heavy-handed parent. And the real benefit of that is that it increases the relationship. And as children get older, the main influence that you have over them is through the relationship. You have less and less control over their environment as they get older, and more you have no other choice but to depend upon the quality of the relationship that you have with them as to be able to influence them. Thank you.